Big Boy's
Big
Neighborhood.
Boy.
All righty, welcome back to the neighborhood,
Yes, sir.
Sean Paul.
Thank
Man.
you, sir.
It is
Thank
a
you.
play, yeah. Every time somebody say Sean Paul, we're gonna go Sean Paul.
Dirty, yeah.
That's it. Man, you sound like him.
Yeah.
Hey man, do people
That's
ask
good.
you to do that all the time or?
Yeah, a couple times I get that.
Right. Hey man, I gotta say, just congratulations on all the success.
Thank you, bro.
For the years, and I was just talking to you outside, man. I was like, man, we got a lot of calendars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like
We've
that
sat
talk.
down for years, man,
Yes, sir.
and I don't see an expiration date on what you do.
I appreciate that,
They intend to enjoy you. Why do you feel that there's a Sean Paul staying power when we see people that's here today and gone tonight?
Oh, man. I'm giving thanks for it, bro. I don't know. I try hard what I do. I really respect the craft and the art that I do and the people involved in it. I love the history of it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that shows to people, but it means something to me. And, yeah.
But you know what?
I got to big up the fans, man.
You will share like different genres, but it's always a Sean Paul way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll see music that'll go in waves, and people kind of jump on the waves.
Yeah.
But you always been, for one, an originator of Sean Paul.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And anytime that you do something, it's Sean Paul.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So what is that so-called stay in power?
Man, yeah, it's funny, man. You can only be yourself, right? So what I learned from greats in the biz, you know what I mean? So it's a full circle thing where they taught me, I appreciate it so much, and then start doing it. Like, I'm influenced by many different things too. LA music, you know what I mean? I don't sound like Snoop Dogg. I don't sound like how I don't go on rhythms like Dr. Dre produced, but I get something from that and I put that in my music. Same thing like even with Nirvana.
Yeah.
I get something from them and I'm like, yo, and melodies and harmonies and them type of things. And even though my music might not sound like it, I recognize the greatness in what they're doing and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? The Beatles and LL Cool J, just different type of music. So I'm like a sponge when it comes on to music. And I see the different trends and I feel it and I know what's going on. And as you said, I'm able to go into the building and just be me on the track. But that's what it is when you do dancehall music, DJ music.
Right.
You're supposed to be versatile on any rhythm that they throw at you. Because at first, it wasn't that we had people making these rhythms.
Right.
It was just the flip side of whatever they had. And you had to be able to get it. So even if it was, you can ring my bell, and if somebody flipped that for you and just gave you the rhythm, you have to be able to spit on that. So I think that helps with my versatility to be able to go on songs like, I don't know if you know Little Mix and people like that I did songs with. You know, it's just that's pop and different from what I did with Migos last year.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Do you ever think that there was a time that you look back and you were just kind of done with music?
Nah, music has held me up when I was done with a lot of other things.
Yeah. Like I'm done with him, her,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then I try to lean on something and it's like, oh, that's music. Oh, it's holding me up. You know what I mean? It make me feel good. Make me feel accomplished just to even go into the studio on a bad day and have something that I created that people, even if it doesn't play now, people could probably check it out in the future and go, oh, that dude was here. He said that. He did that. You know
That's
what I mean?
beautiful.
Yeah.
To be proud of, actually, because to me you were one of the first introductions to dancehall to me and to I feel like many generations. Like, what is that feeling like knowing that in the U.S. you crossed over and you were that introduction to dancehall and iconic and legendary, really, to what we know of dancehall here in the United States?
Thank you. You know, I say it all the time that I owe it to the fans and to the people that did it before me. You know, Bob Marley paved a great
Yes, he
highway
did.
for me to walk on. Big up to Bob Marley. And you know, everybody who came and put their footstep there, and I'm just doing it for the next two. You know what I mean? I produce now. I produce, some different cats in Jamaica that I hope, helps to continue that trend. I just feel a sense of responsibility, not to kick back and be like, oh, that was me. Everybody knows it. You know, I helped to make it more popular, but I want to continue that at home right now while producing and mentoring people as to kind of how to move in the biz. Because a lot of people get, we get swole-headed. There's nothing in your life, and then you spit a rhyme, and everything starts coming to you.
Yeah,
And
man.
you're like, oh, and you do get a little, you know what I mean, a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I try to walk kids through that because sometimes I see it happen to everybody.
Yeah.
It happens to me too. Like, you know what I mean? And you have to kind of like slow yourself down and be like, yo, real parts of life ain't this. This is like, this is what this is the fruit that comes from your hard work. But you can't ever kill that root. And the root is to be humble and remember who you is before all of that.
I always say character is what's being said about you when you're not in the room.
He
And
does.
people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like people really love and F with Sean Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't seen nothing where it was crazy or you just got this arrogance, like nothing. You know, like you roll and you've been the same with me for years, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like, and that's character right there.
Yeah. I can't say anything else.
He's like, that's me.
That's how I grew.
How was there ever a time when you were like coming up that you saw records blowing up and the attention and something was new to you and you look back and say, I was a little different right there?
Yeah, for sure. As I said before, it happens to me. Like, just you might look back at the day and be like, oh, I didn't realize that I was, being like kind of obnoxious there. Using that word again, because to be an artist is very, what can you say? It's narcissistic almost. You have to think of
Right.
these lyrics. You have to think of how people perceiving you on the track. You have to think of how you want to look on this album or this single that coming out. You want to approve it. You want to approve the video. You want the dates that you're gonna perform at. You're saying yes or no to this. So it's all about you. And as I said, my family helped me to keep grounded. You know what I mean? My mom's, my wife, my son, my brother. They are very important to me, and I to them too. So we keep it real that way, and I try not to get out of hand. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What kind of dad is Sean Paul? Because you have one now and y'all expecting as well?
Yes, sir.
Man, congratulations to you, man.
Thank you.
What kind of dad are you?
Yeah, I'm a good dad, I think.
Go ahead
I mean,
now. Yeah. I think I am,
Yeah.
Is the hustle different now that you have kids?
There's a lot less sleep. I tell you
Yeah.
that.
Oh, man.
Because I do still go to the studio, and in night times where I work most like best, it's first of all it's cooler.
Yeah.
And there's a lot less people around. You know what I mean? And when there's people at me, I tend to take in their vibes, and when I want to create, sometimes I need the empty space. I like when there's people there too, but there's times where there's too much people around, and I'm accommodating the conversation. I'm not thinking about
Right.
how this song should go.
Do you and when you say you record at night, do you get there late night and go overnight?
How my day is like I get up when little dude gets up, when the boss gets up
Yeah, easy.
in the morning, and then I go through the day doing what I do, and then I train again, play water polo and swim.
Man, yeah. So
Everyone in your family.
yeah, and it's a trip. I didn't know that until recently.
That's intense, man.
That you were a swimmer and how your mom and your dad were involved. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Because usually they think we don't know how to swim. You know what I'm saying?
But they was champion swimmers, and myself and my brother, we played water polo for Jamaica and I swam too. So after a bag of years, I lost my dad last year, so in May. So and it kind of helped me to feel more close. He was a coach there for a while as well, so I went back and started to get fit again. I was like, yo, I like this. So
and that's a full body workout.
Oh my
Huh, when you
God,
get in that
I would
pool.
drown. Be
yeah,
like,
work something that
I'm
man.
going under.
Yeah,
Bye.
and I wouldn't even play. I'm just talking about even when you just get in the
Goodbye.
water. That's like a full body. That's
That's
a
an
full
intense
body
sport.
swim.
Yeah.
It is
Now, when you travel, do you make sure that everything have a pool? Do you ever get in the hotel pools?
I get in a pool near to where I stay, up here in LA. Sometimes in I would say in Miami. I've done it in Toronto also, once in New York. I just buy a membership for a few months. So when I'm in that city, if I have time, I go.
How important is it for you to stay so Jamaica connected?
It's me, my family, it's my people, it's who influence me still on a day to day. The events that happen there today when I go home and see on my phone, oh, this happened, that happened. So and so did well, so and so dropped out. Wow, you know what I mean? Those things influence me. I can't explain no other way, bro.
What do you tell people? Because everybody now, Sean Paul, everybody want to be in the business. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that you got artists, you take care of people, and you're speaking to some of the younger people as well. Everybody want to be in the business, almost on microwave. Like, how do you tell somebody to respect the craft as well? Because we see it a lot in hip hop, where people are urinating on plaques and it ain't nothing, and they brag about being in the business for a certain amount of months, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm on top of the game right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm the hottest. Yeah. And when you roll, you like this. how do you, somebody that you have under your wing, or when somebody comes to you, what do you tell them?
You know, I like to lead by example. So I'm not always like showing rules, but I will point out to someone when I see them doing something that's like a little over the top for me.
Right.
Like I'll be like, yo, let me tell you something. I wouldn't do it like that. I wouldn't put that person in that uncomfortable situation. That's a journalist. He's doing something for you.
Right.
You understand? So he's trying to tell you a story. At the same time, you know, you mustn't be just all, you know, softy and take any questioning or that you don't want. Like, there's people who, you know, if you don't like the interview, you walk out or you say, excuse me, nice and decently. You know what I mean? So I've caught cats in a situation where they were like being arrogant back then. I was like, I waited till after the situation.
Right.
And I was like, bro, don't do that. And he was like, oh yeah, I understand, big bro.
How did you learn that? Or did you not have to learn it?
Yeah, I don't think I had to learn that. It's just inside me, like I don't want to disrespect people.
Right.
They're just doing something that they feel that, you know, they're here to do in life. You know what I mean? And whether it be that they want to feel the gossip part, or they want to, you know, do real journalism, like go in the streets and check out what's really happening in this situation or that, you have to respect what they're doing. But it's not only that. There's just different things, different ways for move. You know, sometimes on stage as well. I've been on stage with cats that, you know, they're just going all out and not giving someone else that's up there with them as a crew the time.
Right.
And I point it out to them after. So it may look to the crowd like they even disrespecting me or something, but I don't deal with it right there in front of them.
Right, I hear you.
I go back and after a while, if the person don't learn by my example, then I kind of like, you know,
let them be. Like I told you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the music, man.
Yeah.
All righty. That's the one thing that clearly doesn't stop with you. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about how, you know, with your own projects, what you collaborate with, how you pick and choose. Now this J Balvin blow up.
Yeah.
You know, how does that relationship start, or how did that come together with you and J Balvin?
We met buying a slice of pizza.
Damn.
Really?
See,
Wait,
I buy pizza.
No way.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? No, are you serious?
We was at Faruko album launch in
Love me some Faruko.
Yeah, Faruko in PR in Puerto Rico. So I'm there, we backstage, and I start getting hungry. I'm like, where's the concession stand? So we go over there, and there's a slice of pizza, and he's standing beside me, but I didn't know he's an artist. We start to talk, and then, you know, he buys a pizza, I buy a pizza, we go both ways. So years later, I met him.
No.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I met him through Major Lazer now.
Oh, dope.
And these dudes wanted us to do a song, and it was like, yeah, we met then. And I was like, what? It's buying the slice of pizza. I remember buying the pizza.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So he knew, of course, you know, he knew Sean Paul.
Yeah.
But at that moment, you didn't know J Balvin.
Nah, I wasn't on top of the, you know, I knew a few people in the game, and he was relatively, you know, young in the game at the time. So
It's crazy how you never know who the next great champs are going to be,
bro,
too.
I got pictures with Game, like I never
Wow.
knew. Like years after, I'm like, yo, that's Game.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. And even with Kanye too. The first time I met him, I never remember taking that pic. It was at Lil Kim's album launch in New York, and dudes like this with chain. With
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that I didn't know it was him.
And you got to think, like, with J Balvin at that time, of course he knew Sean Paul, and you could have like really like you know what I'm saying, like, and we remember those things too, you know what I'm saying. But now, and that could have stopped a great collaboration if it had been something where you weren't right or he wasn't right.
Yeah, I want the last slice of pepperoni pizza, bro. I was here first.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, aren't you like, get away from me. Get away
What is
from
it
me.
about J Balvin though that you guys collaborate well together?
Yo, he just knows the culture good. I'm not talking about on his own reggaeton culture and what he's in. He Latina culture. He knows dancehall. He asking me questions about certain artists, which I didn't think a lot of probably reggaeton cats kind of know, or a lot of people in general. Like he's asking me of new younger cats and different producers and how we can hear some of those rhythms. So I know he likes the culture.
Nice.
And that's been something that's been happening over a few years now, me and him reasoning. And when last year, I hooked up with Tiny, who I know has done tracks with him before.
Dope.
He's amazing. And yeah, we hooked up and I was like, immediately as I heard this, I was like, yo, this is for Jay. Let's try it with him.
It's so exciting to see you collaborating with the Latin reggaeton artists as well as Becky G, because
Yeah, man.
you know,
Hello,
like
Becky.
that's where the reggaeton got inspired by reggae and just connecting all those roots. And when I saw that they grabbed you for a track, I was like, wait a minute. Like you said, it's exciting that they actually really know like who they're collaborating with, because it's like if you're gonna do reggaeton, you know, it's like you want to go back to the roots and you're bringing in somebody like Sean Paul. Like, how was that with Becky G as well? Mad love.
Yo,
I love Becky.
Yeah, she's so far ahead of her years. Like in
So
terms of,
far.
And you know what
She's
Sean Paul
mature.
always been like when she was young, you
she's
know.
on top of that game, like so crazy. Sometimes I've been in interviews with her, and the way she answers, I'm like, there's no one her age. There she go.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, there you go, bro.
Hey, they're gonna catch me outside, girl. Shoot.
She is way beyond her years.
Yeah, it's just so, you know, I just wish the best for her. She's very talented. I know that people see it, but I think, you know what I mean, she going to find the right sound that going to pop her off even more than, like, to be an icon that she should be.
Yeah, she been working hard, man.
She gets into everything. When I tell you, like, she can do anything from reggaeton to like singing like a really romantic song. She could go from anything, and she can rap and do anything. That's what I love about her, that she doesn't allow anybody to like box her in, because you don't typically see a Mexican girl doing reggaeton.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like she's literally one of many doing that, and she's just going off. So I'm really proud of her for
It's
that.
beautiful. This last couple of years of what's happening. I mean, even to me, big up to Afrobeat. I think that 10, 15 years ago, it didn't sound like what it sounds like this now. And so I could hear the influence from myself as dancehall going in all of these genres. And you know, big up to Machel Montana from Trinidad with soca music too. It's in that realm as well. So you know, not to blow my horn, but what we've been doing has helped to influence all of this. So it's beautiful to me. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And like I said, man, we've been seeing waves. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like with what you do in the music, it continues to stay around. And but on some of the biggest platforms, we seeing so many people tap in as well.
Yeah, for
then
sure.
we seeing the genres really blend, because we've seen the hip hop, reggae, you know, those genres blend, but now it's
Everywhere.
like worldwide, bro.
Yeah, man. Big up to the Biebas and Rihanna and everybody who like, hit it up. You know what I mean?
Me too. You know what I'm saying? I was an artist before too, man. Like,
Tell her.
yeah, remember our early collaborations that
Real.
Sean? Oh yeah, man,
Mind
Sean,
you.
man, yeah, we had some beautiful things together, man. Traveled. Remember then I was like, oh man, I think I'm gonna stay and do radio. You was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm
I'll
gonna
hold this
stay and
down.
do.
You hold that down.
Yeah, because I was like, man, that's the way business got to be. You got to be out there doing that.
True.
And then let me hold this down.
I got you.
You know what I'm
True.
saying? And I remember early on when I used to write and for you and just
Yeah.
tell you how to get in the booth, you know?
You
I
didn't
do
say
all
that.
I do all
Ghost
no,
writing
I
for
didn't.
him.
I didn't let y'all know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And here we are all these years later. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not like, you know, I would never call myself a ghostwriter because you never tried to hide me. I just was comfortable where I was at.
Yeah.
All right, if y'all believe that, then y'all stupid as fuck.
Sean, when Stefflon Don came up to you and said she had this track, and then you heard Idris Elba's name
I
on
knew
it.
she was gonna bring up
Of
Idris.
course.
I knew she was gonna bring up Idris.
Yeah,
I
I
had
was like, hey, Idris, I know that name. Isn't he an actor? They were like, yeah. I'm like, what is he? He's reading a part on it?
Yeah. Like, is he doing a visual? Is it in the
Doing a
video?
reading?
Like,
They were like, nah, he's spitting. And I found out so much that he was a DJ before. I didn't know none of that. And then you just seen him at Coachella I didn't get to catch your set live. I watched it back on the tube, but yeah, man, great vibes. And I think that it's one of the times where you see an actor get into music like that, and it works. You know,
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't always like feel.
But he respects it too, and you can feel that there's a core to him.
Yeah, man, him have the vibe, man.
I
Yeah.
loved
You
it.
got the vibe. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'll tell him when I see him.
Oh, please don't do that.
Yeah?
You see that? She like,
She light up.
This girl,
You want to
She's
see something?
obsessed.
Look
she
at
was like,
she's
you
obsessed
don't have no
with him.
tattoo on your back, do you?
She's obsessed with him. She's also married,
What?
but obsessed with Idris.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow, that's your blankie?
Yeah. She can't take that
Sean's
home
like,
to her husband.
That's what she leaves
You know what I'm
in
saying?
here.
She can't take that home to her husband.
Yeah,
so
she got a blankie.
yeah, we
Oh,
gotta.
wow.
He's making fun of your
I
blanket.
wonder if Idris.
I
If,
didn't buy this. They sent it to me, but still.
it's all the same.
But you still have it.
I see what
I
you
still
throw
have it.
away.
I'm gonna let him know you wrap him around your body at times.
Yeah, man.
From the tattoo.
Easy call. He come in here, we gonna whoop his ass though. Yeah, well maybe not. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You guys can be
problem.
like, you're telling me you
Yeah.
have to be over there. It just
Yeah.
will have to be here.
You know it's a trip. I've turned him down like the last 2 times that they put requests in
You're like,
because I
we
just don't want her around
Like,
him.
look how she's acting without him here.
Yeah, you
Just
know
with
what I'm
the
saying?
blankie. It's
You
the
You gotta,
blankie.
you gotta plan on her vacation day.
Yes, man.
Yeah, you go ahead, you go on it.
and then put
come on.
then put it up. You know what I'm saying? Then I put it up on
We all
YouTube
sat
or something
crying.
like that.
Yeah, she-
Matt's
probably
like,
would cry.
why are you crying? You're on vacation.
Yeah,
You don't understand.
It just was in LA. Shande Paul Day is in. You know,
Yo.
everybody got this faking Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Like we all got imposter
I suck
rasta.
at it.
Like we all smoke on that season, Belize, everything. When it comes, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to that, you see people when we say Shande Paul or if somebody do
Shande
something.
Paul.
How ridiculous do we sound? For real?
Pretty strange.
Yeah.
Pretty,
I just want
pretty
to sound like you.
But
Yeah.
it's true. Sometimes, like, I'm trying to converse with people, like, you know what I mean, and I put on a little accent so you can understand me better.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Because if you wanted to go
Super
deep,
heavy.
you can go deeper than where you
Oh
are
my
now.
gosh.
Huh?
But yeah, but then I'm feeling like now I'm talking to you, pretty much like for someone in America to understand me.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
I didn't know that.
But like it's funny because like people at home will be like, yo, man, switch. Man sound different, dog. Man over there and can't understand. Like he twanging over there. And then I'm over here talking, you know, trying to talk proper. And then people
we're
like,
like,
yo, we don't understand you.
Yeah, we holding on to every word. Like, I think he said, all right, like, can you know how we do faking Jamaican? Can you do, like, can you drop your accent and try to sound like me?
Sometimes I try to do like Idris, but I don't know if I really sound like him, you know?
Right,
They got
oh.
a deep voice. And is it working?
It's working.
Is it working?
It's working.
But you couldn't come in and read for a straight so-called American role.
Sound like you? No, probably not.
Man.
It sounds stupid, right?
Right, it almost sounds southern.
So
It does.
yeah, so that's how I sound to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, now you
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, so okay, I guess I'll go ahead and.
But you know that, Joe, like every time a video comes out on YouTube for me, whether it be one of these big songs or something I'm just throwing out there, people always have this same joke. There's 3 types of English. You ever seen it?
No.
There's English language, there's American English, and there's Sean Polish.
Oh,
Like it happens every time. You go look on my YouTube, you see
Sean
comments like, if you-
Polish.
That's
with-
hilarious.
yeah, because I'm telling you, man, like there's times when we just sit down and conversate, and I want to say something, but I'm like, I'm not gonna play myself.
It's
like Cube come in, I go, yay, yay, for some reason. You know, and then when
it's
Dr.
me, like-
Dre, when I'm with Dre, I go, hell yeah. And when I see you, I want to go Shande Paul, and I'm like, ah.
Or you could just go, bada bang.
Oh, I can't. Oh, dirty, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was really good.
But that's because I'm faking it too, though. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of hate it out there too. You know what I'm saying?
So when 50 in the building, you're like,
Pretty much back in the days, you know what I'm saying? When he was pushing G unit, I
Yeah.
just didn't know how many G's to put in there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen
Sometimes
them
I
at it one time. I seen the whole of them at it one time. There was no radio interview. There was no TV camera around or nothing, but they was all just talking with each other. And every time someone said something like real
go,
serious, everyone
Yeah. Like,
So
and then,
that's
okay, so
serious.
this is really
Oh
y'all.
my God.
Like this is like all right. Like
Yeah.
Sean, do you think that a lot of people confuse your lyrics
you know he
all
don't like
the
when people
time?
call him Sean. You got to call him Sean Paul. I'm just
You're
like, go ahead.
lying.
No. Hey, dude, he even looked at me like
He's like, I do?
he's like, where?
What are some of like the biggest confused like lyrics? Like for me, I need you to finish this one. Just give me the lie and pass the draw. What do you say after that?
Bust another bottle of Mo.
Bust another bottle of mo.
Bust
Oh.
another bottle of mo. Oh,
Yeah.
duh.
Wait.
Yeah,
I never.
Buster Buster.
Hey, man.
I just be like,
Yeah, a lot of people say. I get that a lot.
And what about my song with
So
me
go,
and
so
my
then,
Yeah, that
but I don't really care what people.
say. What do you say after that?
Some of them is just like it means like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do right now on the track. Check it out.
Some goes to then.
Yeah, it's like so check me out. You know what I mean? So this was.
So why you just didn't say check me out?
Yeah, why can't you just say check me out?
Yeah,
Some goes to then.
Yeah, yard thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I thought you said summer goes away. Summer goes away. You know what I'm saying? But mine is that where'd you get mine? I said bye bye bye. She turned around. You know that. Oh my God! I told you that's me and my girl's song.
You gave me this dance, bro. Every time. Now I got my strippers doing them dance, bro.
Man, yeah, I told you how. No, because I remember one time I was with my wife. This was early on.
Yeah.
And we were putting that on that I'm still in love. And when that came, she said, "Give my love and say bye bye bye." And then she was like this.
Yeah.
And she was like, she turned around. She asked the question, why? Let me say the girl to cry. And it hurts my heart to tell a lie.
Oh,
No,
no.
So don't cry no more.
Hear all of these songs.
My shit
You
is
can
hard
me
now.
concert, please.
I'm hard now, Jack.
You can concert now.
I'm
What'd you
ready.
say? What'd you
Sit
say?
down.
I'm ready
Stay
to
down.
in this interview now and go home to my wife. I'm gonna finish up with Sean Paul, baby.
Oh, so many good songs.
Oh my
So
gosh,
I want a
man.
mini concert now. We're like, no, press play now.
But you got a catalog, bro.
Huge
man.
catalog.
Yeah, you got a catalog that
So
you
good.
can, and you continue to add to it.
I would like to think so, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So what's going down, music and album wise, with Sean Paul?
Nowadays, there's so much stuff out there, from video games to Baby Shark being on the Billboard
Yeah.
charts. I don't know, boy. It's like I'm oriented. My artistry is oriented from an album point of
Right.
view, like, because that's how international people got to know me. The album Dirty Rock and all that. So now I'm kind of like seeing the game. There's so much songs out there, so much more producers. There's a lot more even genres. So I'm throwing out singles for now.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So from last year, I did with Dua Lipa, I did with Migos, I did with Tory Lanez. I've been throwing out singles with, like, as you said, Becky G. We did Steph London earlier this year. Right now is the single with J Balvin. I got stuff with Rita Ora lined up. I got stuff with Sia again.
Oh my
At
Lord.
some point, I feel like a lot of artists weren't really crediting dancehall enough, but they were being influenced by it and they just kind of
Yeah.
wouldn't give it up. Do you think now people are giving it enough credit, or do you still think there's ways to go?
I see like this, like, people caught me complaining at one point. And they're like, "Oh, yo, you being sour." But the real thing is, like, if Sean Paul got up one day and did a country western album, the world would be like, "That's not your music, bro."
Right,
but
yeah.
I'm not saying that I couldn't say Sean Paul's country and western album, country album, right? But if I labeled it that way, but if I said this is my new album, people would be like, "Yo, that's not you. That's country and western." Give it back to Kenny Rogers and all the greats. You know what I mean? You have to pay that respect. So when I hear people doing tracks that are dancehall oriented and it's not from a subgenre, like, it to me is like, you should say this is my dancehall single.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I hear Rihanna saying, like, when she put out Work, she's like, that's my dancehall, that's my single, but she let everybody know it's dancehall.
Yeah.
So that was my point, and that's the only thing I wish people would do. But the thing is that we're not recognized on these big award shows as it's reggae, right? And that's and we're like the son of reggae music, dancehall.
Right.
But I think what I do, because you just mentioned I'm Still in Love, that's reggae to me.
Yeah.
So I do reggae dancehall music. That's the cover of what I do. You know what I mean? That's the crown of what I do. I'm under that reggae dancehall music. When people come out and do, like, their singles and they're like, this is my new single, and they don't say this is my dancehall single, then it shows that you don't have no respect for us. It shows that you're just using the vibe. Like when dance music is huge a couple years ago, and I put some of the vibes into my music, I'm like, this is my dancehall, dance-oriented track.
Right.
Oh, sorry. I'm mashing a laptop up. But yeah, I make people know that it's influenced me now. So I'm putting that into my music. What I do is dancehall, but it's influenced by different things that do come and be popular, pop off. So I just wish that people would do that.
Definitely.
Pay homage. You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta give to the
Yeah,
community.
because as I said, Bob Marley paved a great road for us to
Yeah,
walk on
man.
and drive on, and everybody doing it. There's cats in Germany like Gentleman, he's doing reggae and dancehall music for years now, and I think that's beautiful because he says this is reggae and dancehall.
Do you
music.
travel the world?
All over, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's your passport look like? Probably look like a book, huh?
Yeah, there's a couple books. Well,
Yeah,
but
same. Same.
100
Okay, it's
about
not-
120 countries, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Is-
That's dope.
Isn't it
Enough
crazy how universal music is and where music has taken you?
Yeah, man. Music. My voice reached to some places before me,
Mm-hmm.
and then it took me along for the ride after a while.
When did you know it was going to be music? I'm pretty sure you grow up on music.
Yeah.
But when did you know you wanted to do music?
14, 15 years old, I thought I'd be a producer. I was like, Mom, give me one of them keyboards, please. And
Yeah.
she saved up. She went to a flea market on a Sunday. She bought this crack Yamaha. It had a little 4-drum beat thing I used to build over people's rhythms. And I'm like, bling, bling. So I thought I was a producer at the point. And then, a couple of years passed until I was about 17 to 19. I started to write rhymes to see if I could give people.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would sing for people, they were like, yo, you sound like Supercat. Yo, that's dope. Rrr. So, and he was one of my favorite artists, him, Shabba Ranks. And so, yeah. So,
Shabba! Sorry
yeah,
about that.
yeah, we
See,
have
that's
to have a
another
big
one I
demo.
got to do.
We have a big demo. But yeah, after a while, I started to get more and more into the thing. So I'd say about 19 years old, I started really taking myself serious. Like, yo, I'm gonna be an artist.
How do you break through? Because there's so many people, it's been in Jamaica, that's on, or that's trying to get on, or so many people that got studios, and you know what I'm saying?
It's a
Like,
lot.
how do you break through?
Being where I was from, I'm from Uptown. Now, people might think that, that's a poshy life. It's not really. I was a middle-class family. My father went to prison when I was 13 years old. We went through our little rough times, you know what I mean? So it's not as poshy as people make it out to be, but I grew up Uptown, and so it was what you call a phenomenon to people. Like, yo, there was only 2 cats ever really spitting from that and then taking it seriously, because most of people growing up in that area, parents want you to be, lawyers and doctors and
Right.
a professional person. So did my mom. And music just spoke to me. You know what I mean? It was something that that I thought I could do well. And every time I tried my hand on it, people would be like, oh. So I started taking it more and more seriously after a while. Well, yeah.
How did your family
It
feel
stood
about
out. It stood out. My mom
about
didn't want me to do
school
it.
and music and
Yeah, she didn't. Everybody wanted me to finish school, and so I recorded my first song at 24, basically in my second year of college, and so it messed up my third year of college.
oh yeah, you're like, you know what I'm
I was
saying?
like, hasta la vista.
Well, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, good luck.
Jamaicans take so much pride in other Jamaicans. It's a really beautiful thing. When you're in Jamaica, is it hard for you to kind of like maneuver around? I mean,
I've been popular so long there. People are just like, yeah.
And I got,
That's
there he
like-
goes
Sean.
again.
What's up, bro?
You got to get in line like everybody else, Sean.
No, but
All right, stop coming in here.
But I do, I go to the supermarket and I stand in the line, and people actually come up to me and tell me, yo, bro, not a lot of artists do that. I respect that. So I think in my community where I'm at, it's respected in that way. But also, like if I'm billed for a show and there's people that come there to see me that don't see me on a regular, that gets hectic.
That can get a little different, huh?
Yeah.
What about Usain Bolt? What's the relationship there?
He's a hero to me. You know what I mean? Somebody who I look up to for like just a national hero.
And you guys are climate change ambassadors now?
Yeah, I've been for a while now. Did a song for the climate change thing a couple years ago, 215.
But there is no climate change.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, dude,
Doesn't
when
exist,
people
like,
say
it's getting
like,
hotter
man,
where
it's
I'm
hot as
from,
hell,
so-
you know what I'm saying? Like,
The summers are getting really warm.
man, it's
Yeah,
100 degrees on Christmas Day.
I see the change. Like
Yeah,
in Jamaica,
oh, man.
it's a small island. So there's a beach in Kingston that, when I was a kid, it was a huge beach. Like it had a lot of sand on it, and it's taking time and becoming water now. And it's like there's no, it's called Hellshire Beach. A lot of people go there to eat good seafood, and it's sad to see that happening, and that's happening because there's temperature change which affects our corals, and then also we're also eating the parrotfish a lot. And the parrotfish is kind of not supposed to be eaten, but it tastes good. But they protect the coral, and they also make sand. And so we lose that beach. Like I would say 90% of the beach is gone.
Damn.
Like
in the last how many years? You think 20, 25 years?
25 years. Yeah.
That's sad
I've seen
and
it take
scary.
time until I
Yeah.
hadn't been there in a couple of years, and when I went, I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's-
Standing on a little piece of sand, like
exactly.
what the hell?
Yeah, like this don't make no sense. And it was a nice white sand beach in Kingston. Still a great place to get food, but just there's hardly any beach there left. And I could see that. Now when I went to the climate change thing in France in 2015, there was people from Jamaica that saw me, or from the Caribbean, and they were like, vote on this article thing. And I was like, why? What is it? And they said that, countries kind of vote on their carbon emissions, how much they can kind of put out, and it affects the temperature. And so while it might be good for some countries who are up north to be a little bit warmer, they could put out a little bit more carbon. For us, it's getting hot, and our coral is dying, and then there's a lot of eco disaster that could happen, and I hope that it change. I mean, my uncle was one of the first people to scuba dive, teach you scuba diving in Jamaica back in '87.
Y'all stay in that water, huh?
Yeah.
Your whole family. Huh?
So he used to take us out like at 14 years old. He teach me the thing, and I go down, and it was an amazing. Like, if you ever been scuba diving, proper, like you see colors, and
scared.
it's like, it is scary at first, but if you love the water like we, then it's cool. But when you go down, like you go down 30, 40 feet, and you look up, and there's a mountain of coral, and it's all colored, and the fish is all over the place. It looks amazing. And then now there's none. I went back to the same place about 98, like years later, and it was like, wow, there's nothing there.
And there's some people, Sean, that'll tell you there is no change. Like, I'm like, how can you?
I mean, I hear that the ice caps is melting. I'm hearing that there's certain flooding going on.
Just what our seasons look like. There's so many things
it's
around.
It's colder in the winter, it's hotter in the summer.
That's crazy.
And hotter
man.
in the Caribbean is really hot.
It's so sad to see that. I go to Tulum every single year to this beach, and this past year I went back, and just the seaweed was everywhere, and the beach was so dirty.
Same thing happened in Jamaica this year.
And it's so sad. So something isn't right. Like to see that, it's like going back to the turquoise blue every single time, like this kind of blue right here, and then to seeing the brown, like it's scary and it's sad.
And all that, the seaweed comes up and it rots on the beach. It smells. Nobody
So
wants
bad.
to go to the beach. It's terrible. So something's happening there, which I'm not understanding. But
well, you know what, man?
We need to turn the AC.
You
up.
got to stop making music. You need to put all this time into this. We recognize you for your music.
Yeah.
You need.
Well, big up people who are doing their career and helping out in the same way, like
What you're
Leonardo
doing.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, and you got people attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got people attention, and you're using it very wisely, bro. Like,
Thank you, man.
we
Save
definitely
us.
need to wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Because we are a small island, so I see the effects, and I just want my people for just like what I'm very upset about is air pollution too. There's a couple months ago, I was at the stadium pool, and I had to take myself. It's on my Instagram, so I was like, "Yo, there's a welding plant right beside the pool right now." I grew up here. I represent my country for water polo and swimming, and now these kids is swimming, and I'm here with them. And I'm metal is going in my lungs. Like I smell the fumes, and that's bad. Like, so within 2 days, the city got back to me, and they were like, "We fixing it. We moving this." Like,
Damn.
But air
The power of the
pollution-
voice, man, and how you can use your voice.
But air pollution in Jamaica is nuts right now. I need it to clear up in Kingston. I have asthma. We got world class athletes like Usain Bolt and Asafa Powell living and growing. Kids who are not even doing that yet, growing up there.
Yeah.
The footballers, the athletic people, all of the people that use their voice.
What we doing to
sing
our
and-
tomorrows, bro?
Yeah, and I think that's a big issue I have with my own city, Kingston. We're getting really polluted.
Sean Paul, it's so exciting to see how you influence and continue to influence new artists. Have you heard of Anita by any chance? Yeah.
You guys
She
talking about
is
Coachella?
she is so dope. Did you get a chance to see Terremoto yet?
Terremoto.
Yeah, so she did homage to Just
I
Give Me
didn't
the
remember
Light.
the name of the song.
Oh man.
That was crazy because I was like, I had to blink a couple times. I was like, who? Because it looks so much exactly like the
So
vid.
much, exactly.
And that's why we need to sue her. You know? Oh, you're not. Oh, okay.
I'm I'm gonna probably get a song out of this, bro.
Okay. That's even better. That's
So
even
wait,
better.
you guys got a chance? You've met Anita?
I've met her over the phone, like you know, a couple times, one FaceTime and then a couple times like, just typing and stuff. But we already planning to do work.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear.
She's
Collaboration.
amazing,
She
you know what I mean?
is.
Vibe. She have a new song. She have a song out there with J Balvin that I like, and he was the one to introduce me to her. So big
Her
up to him,
album
man.
is really, really good. It's trilingual, Portuguese, Spanish, and English. Like I'm trying to tell people, like she is so talented.
Great, man.
When I first saw this music video, I was like, "Oh hell no, she's copying." So I,
Yeah.
I got really, I was like, "That's Give Me the Light." Like, where? But I found out that she's a huge fan of yours, and that's
Yo,
why she did. She paid homage to
And
you.
that's
in
why
this.
she reached out to me too. Like,
That's
yo,
awesome.
is this okay? I was like, oh, that's amazing. You know what I mean? I was
Playing
For
Sasha?
anybody
Is
else,
she
man.
becoming Sasha?
Let me put this out there. Anybody else? Imitation is the best form of flattery. But don't flatter me. All right. All right, we're gonna let that one be done. You know what I'm
busy
saying?
waiting
We're
for
gonna
the calibre.
let me ask you this, man. It seems like how you respect and you'll call out names, and then there's people that respect to say your name. Do you feel like in what you do with reggae and that there's a age, like, do people look at age different? Like, because people look at hip hop and say, oh, he's old school,
old.
he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
Do you find that in
I-
reggae music? Because it doesn't seem as
I look up to certain artists like Toots. If you know who Toots is, Jimmy Cliff. They still tour.
yeah.
And they're up in years. You know what I mean? They're a few years older than myself. So
But we get so many
I have
people.
that example to look at. You know what I mean? And I'm like, as long as I feel the joy, I mean, it's supposed to be making a joyful noise unto the Lord, right? So what we're doing is expressing ourselves, telling people about our life and how it is. And so, you know, if I can do that for as long as I can, then I will. It is what it is who will listen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you don't get a lot of people where with hip hop it's like, oh, that guy, or we need to push him out, or old heads like.
I heard when Jay-Z turned 40, everybody's like, yo, what is a 40-year-old rapper?
Yeah,
And he
man,
did it.
like-
He's doing it, and he's still, you know what I mean?
Like
Big up to him.
there is no other genre or profession where we say, what this 40-year-old teacher doing in here? Old ass teacher.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, you need to stop
Yeah.
teaching, man. Like,
Yeah.
but
You've been
with
doing
hip
this
hop,
forever.
we ready to kick everybody out.
But that's the nature of hip hop and even dancehall music too. It's about being aggressive and getting yours and showing what you can do. But that's also a part of the culture. The word culture sometimes comes with negatives,
Right.
and you have to be able to identify that and be the change. You know what I mean?
Buju is home. What did that
Yeah.
feel like?
Amazing,
for
bro.
Jamaica? Yeah.
I went to check him twice in prison.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
dope.
You know, and just to tell him I love his music. I'm behind the movement. I'm here for him. You know, when he was about to come out, it was a lot of anticipation. People were like, "Oh, is this gonna happen?" That he told me, when I come out, I'm gonna rest for 3 months, and then I'm gonna start doing shows. I'm gonna get with my family first.
I heard that.
Right, so he got sons and daughters and you know, aunts and people that are very important to him. They ain't seen him in 10 years.
Wow.
So, or been around him in 10 years. So just being there with them
fam.
and for that amount of time,
It looked like the country damn near shut
Yeah.
down.
that was a lot.
When he, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that they were moving him around, I was like, wow.
Should have figured out
Yeah.
what artist we had in here. That it was like he was like, I gotta go see him. He's just getting released. I forgot
I
who
don't
was in
know.
here. It was happening while we were in here.
Oh yeah, man.
They were pretty much on their way
Yeah.
out. It wasn't
Remember?
Khaled or
A
anybody.
lot of
was it?
people came.
No.
Who was it? I don't know.
A lot of people came. I mean, I've never seen the stadium that full. You know what I mean? Usain Bolt's a huge icon, but the floor of the stadium has never been full when he's running, because he's running.
Right.
So this is all of the stands and the floor full of people. You know, and I think he did an hour and a half.
Damn.
Yeah, but he was like, I wanted to go more, but I just didn't want
Were you there?
to overdo it. Yeah, I had to be
Wow.
there. And I was there as a fan. You know, there was a lot of interviews to be done, and I kept saying to people, I'm trying to find somebody. And I was like, I'm going to use that excuse more.
I'm
You
trying
know?
to find somebody.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, and I didn't
Oh,
mean to.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
mean to diss my.
But it was
my own home.
Like, give me this
media.
one time.
Yeah, I
Give me
wanted
this-
to be the fan again. I wanted to
Yeah.
stand in the crowd and be like, yo, that's Buju. And he's free. Even though I'm a friend of his now. I used to look up to, I mean, this kid was 19 years old when I was 19 years old. And he was controlling the culture of my
Right.
country. And I was like, damn. So I look up to him. You know what I mean? And he did such big things and has been through so much ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that all of that's due to misunderstanding of how people really feel in their heart. You know what I mean? You know, with all the fight that he did get and he still gets. But big up to him. Is just someone who's uncompromising in his character. Like he doesn't want to change certain things. He may come to new understandings, but you know, certain things about him will remain that way. And you need people like that in life to look
he
up
went
to.
and did it too, though.
Rock solid, you know.
Big Boy's
Big
Neighborhood,
Boy.
Sean Paul. Thank you for coming into the
Thank
neighborhood and
you.
hanging out
Thanks
with
for
us,
having
man.
me. Thanks for the airtime.
Man,
Been-
please, brother. It
been
is
amazing.
a pleasure to have you in the
Yes.
neighborhood, man. And I say this every time. I'm coming to Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah, you always.
And I'm
say
gonna
that.
see I'm gonna see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You always say that, bro.
Yeah, so I'm saying it again because we always say it. You know? Yeah, so I'm coming. You know
All right,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
We there to welcome when you come and treat you like the king you are.
But the one time when I was there years ago, you weren't even in Jamaica.
that's
you were on the road.
That's because you was in the country parts, man.
No, you
You
was
was in Kingston?
You was on tour.
I was on tour. All right,
Yeah.
well this
okay,
time.
you weren't. I'm just lying.
Yeah. But if you
Yeah.
do come there, I'll make sure I'm not on tour, man.
All right,
Just
yeah.
for you.
So you're gonna stop down from making your money and feeding your family, so I can come with my family to your
My
house.
family's good. I need to take care of my friends sometimes.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
There it is,
You
right
said
there.
it.
All right, now watch when I get there. I'll
God
be like,
bless.
here, like, hey, I'm looking for someone.
I won't be back.
Yeah, I'll be back. Sean Paul in the neighborhood, Big Boy's
Big Boy.
Neighborhood.